Great. All right. So hello, everyone, and welcome to my talk tonight. My name is Lyndsay King, and I am here to talk to you about how to quantum leap, the key to extreme manifestation. So I just want to point out that we have all been a part of this incredible forum, the Spiritual Growth Forum, that's been taking place over the past few days, over the weekend, and even before that. And I have been so privileged to be able to participate and listen to so many of the incredible talks that have been given here by speakers from around the world. And you start to notice, when we're here together in the spiritual community, there's a theme because so many of us have been through an awakening. So many of us are being called forward to live into our purpose, to fulfill our mission. And that requires extreme transformation of our soul from the inside out. And that reflects back into our outer world and our life. And that's why we talk about overcoming our beliefs, working with our mindset, achieving big goals, healing our inner child, our energy, our trauma, clearing our energy. And it's all a part of the game, right? It's all a part of the game. And one thing I always say is that you cannot gather too much information. But the key here is how do we put it into practice? Okay, so welcome again to my talk tonight. Tonight, we are going to reframe the universe and how we fit into it, or actually how you fit into it. And I wanted to start off by introducing myself. So my name is Lyndsay King. And in a past life here on Earth, I was a communications professional, and I grew up in New Jersey and New York, worked in New York City. And when in 2007, I moved to London with my job. And from there, I went on to have a career in London, running my own business and continuing to pursue my calling, my dream, my purpose. So what I didn't know throughout the course of my life is that I was what we call an unconscious competent. I was working with the laws of manifestation, and I was able to manifest extreme changes in my life in a very short period of time by applying the fundamentals of what we learned through the basics, the law of attraction, mindset, thinking about affirmations. We didn't even call them affirmations back then. We just said, think this, think that you're good at something if you're not good at it. And lo and behold, your life will change and shift. So when I started to practice, it took me many years to make changes in my life. And now that I'm a bit older, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my mid 40s, I have a young child. I actually am proud to say that I have created the life of my dreams. And I'm still in the process of doing that. So I just want to share with you a quick snippet about myself here, just to give you an idea of who you're talking to and why I can talk about quantum shifting, quantum leaping, and extreme manifestation. So yes, I started my extreme manifestation with my move to the UK and my move to London, opening up a business, living in the most exclusive neighborhoods in the UK, traveling all around the world, and basically living the life of my dreams at a young age. But what I can tell you is that I didn't realize how I was doing that. And I wasn't in energetic alignment to keep that going at the rate it was going. In 2017, I had a massive spiritual awakening. I had founded a business at the start of 2016. I had already been kind of moving into my purpose. I ran an organization empowering women called Hourglass Inspiration, inspirational women in the community. And I closed it down in 2021, but I had 10,000 women come through my organization over the 10 years that I was running that project. And it was really just done as a hobby. So in 2017, I experienced what I would call my second spiritual awakening. My first one was at 17, and this one was now at 38. And I basically watched my reality start to crumble. I dove into deep inner healing. I started to receive messages through my intuitive factors, through my hearing, messages coming through my ears, feeling emotions in my body. I started to have dreams and premonitions about the future and messages about people. And I started to open up my gifts as a healer, as a clairvoyant, as a psychic, or as a telepathically talented person, I like to call it. I call myself an intuitive coach and mentor, a spiritual coach and mentor, or spiritual therapist at the moment. And I really started to embrace that it was now time for me to close out the old and move into the new. So from there, during my awakening, I actually channeled a methodology that I used called the Accelerate Your Life methodology. And I started to practice with it. So I'm just going to make this real short. So what happened since 2020 until 2024 is that I made a goal and I said, I am going to reunite my family. I will never spend another holiday alone because I had been living abroad for 14 years. And that happened. I moved back to the US. All of my family moved together where we all lived together during COVID for 2 years. And then I had declared I will never spend another holiday without my family. I wanted to get married, but with no boyfriend in sight in the middle of a pandemic. I didn't know how that was going to happen. And lo and behold, a year later, December 5th, I was getting married to my husband, my dream man. And I was pregnant 2 months after my wedding. And I wanted to get out of the city. And I ended up moving to Norway in 2021, having my baby in 2022. I now have 2 beautiful stepchildren. And my husband and I just moved to London 6 weeks ago into our latest home, which is my dream home. You'll see I still have paintings on the floor and we're still furnishing the house. So this is extreme manifestation, right? This is extreme shifting. So this is quantum shifting. So I want to talk a little bit tonight about the quantum realm. All right. So quantum reality, I just had a definition here that I wanted to read to you. So what does quantum tell us? Quantum physics is the study of matter and energy at the most fundamental level. It aims to uncover the properties and behaviors of the very building blocks of nature. While many quantum experiments examine very small objects such as electrons and protons, quantum phenomena are all around us, acting on every scale. I'm also going to read you a quote from a book that I love, U Square. I'm sure many of you have heard of it. There's also the Quantum Leap Strategy. There's no secret. These books are awesome. They will help you quantum leap. So a quote from Fred Allen Wolf. The explosive jump that a particle of matter undergoes in moving from one place to another, in a figurative sense, taking the quantum leap means taking a risk and going off into uncharted territory with no guide to follow. So what we're talking about here, guys, is the fact that when we look at the quantum field and quantum physics, okay, everything is matter. Everything, our thoughts are sending out vibrations. We all know this if we're here at this conference, right? But it's more than just being positive and staying happy. This is critical and crucial. Yes, practicing gratitude, the gateway energy into any kind of manifestation or shape shifting. But what we're talking about here is like really finding your power, facing yourself, you versus yourself, and overcoming your fears. So if we look at this from a spiritual standpoint, okay, I was working with a coach about 6, maybe 8 months ago, and she said something very impactful, profound for me at the time. And she said, your life purpose is to create your dream life. It's not that complicated, right? We don't want a life purpose that's written in stone. It can change, which is why so many people get confused and say, I don't know which way to go. The most important thing is that you're going. Creating that picture of your dream life and then living into your dream life and really going above and beyond to create that dream life. So for many of us here, we need to accept this human journey. We are a spirit, a soul, an energy. We're not plugged into the wall, living inside this dense, heavy matter of a human body, right? This is the duality of the life that we live. So getting comfortable in our human shell, in our machine that we're running, and starting to create our legacy on earth. So for those spiritual people out there, those who are like, I feel I'm being called forward. I've had an awakening. I have a mission. It's been sent to me. Like for me, it was very clear, sent to me in my dreams and in every waking moment of my life. I would even break into ringing ears or itching and scratching if I was doing the wrong thing, I guess you could say. So I had no choice. But for those of us who are called forward, this is about overcoming our traumas, our fears, all of the things, our doubts that are holding us back, and getting closer to God-likeness, the universe, right? Purity, divinity, unity, the law of one, where everything exists in a state of love. We want to help our soul ascend. All right. So we're getting into like a bit of spirituality, metaphysics, and quantum physics, right? So quantum leaping. This is the key to extreme manifestation, is knowing yourself, getting in touch with your heart, your soul, and your power and your calling. When we stand up and speak from a place of truth, we will never be misled. When we stand up and speak from a place of knowing who we are deep inside, we will never be misled. But what that requires is for us to say, what quantum realities am I participating right now? Because everything you can imagine is actually already in existence. This is the quantum theory. So the theoretical standpoint is that if you can imagine the life of your dreams right now, it already exists in an alternate universe, right? It's already existing in a quantum field because you created it. It's already in creation and you are the creator. So what does it require to shift and jump into that reality? Well, let's look at it like a game of ping pong, okay? You may have heard this analogy before. So you're at a ping pong table, shooting the ball, tapping the ball, paddling away, back and forth, back and forth. And this is you in your life with every single person and everything that you consider reality. Quantum leaping requires you to say, no, I don't want that reality. I don't want to play with you anymore. I don't want to play that game anymore, even if it's not bad. It's just not what you want. It's not moving you forward. Putting the paddle down and allowing that little ping pong ball to bounce across the table and sitting in that uncomfortable silence where the ball never gets picked up and hit back to the other opponent. And that's what it feels like when we change our life, when we change our world. We go through an experience of space, right? Of unknowing, and it can be very uncomfortable and awkward and very frightening. So putting the paddle down and deciding not to take part anymore in things that are not serving your soul. They're not growing you. They're not moving you forward. They may be comfortable, but saying no. And starting to, as you all have heard this, I'm sure before, raise your standards so the universe can meet you there. The universe is your loyal servant. The quantum field is waiting for you to just command it on how to work. The quantum reality is your reality. You need to choose it, grab it, take hold of it, and own it. All right? So raising your standards so the universe can meet you there. Okay, guys, I'm a big fan of self-love. I'm sure you've heard about boundaries and self-love. It's all a part of it. Okay, so what if I asked you to destabilize your reality? How scary would that be? I read a book when I was 21 years old called The Holographic Universe. All right, heavy duty book. I think I fell asleep 10 times reading the book because it was so overwhelming, the information I was taking in, but it was a wonderful, wonderful read. And I can remember laying on my leather sofa and just waking up in the summer in New York City, like stuck to the sofa. It was so hot. Oh, I passed out in the middle of this book, but I finished the book and it was excellent. And in the holographic universe, they state, people are addicted to their beliefs, right? So we can say like, oh, I believe I'm good enough when I had a false belief that I wasn't good enough. But understand that you truly believe that the reality around you is real. When we step into quantum reality, you need to realize that you've created that reality through your beliefs. So when you start to shift your perspective and your energy on a deep, deep level, your reality will also change. When you ask the universe for certain things, you will get certain lessons. But when we're getting into quantum leaping, we're talking about destabilizing reality. All right. So guys, as I continue to talk through this, please go ahead and write any questions that you have. Let me know if there are any points you want me to dive into deeper. Okay. Just looking for my clock. Okay, there we go. So the main thing here is to decide what you want. It can be a big goal or a small goal, but I recommend a big goal. So do you want to change your career? Do you want to change your identity, right? Like your self-image, who you are, who you think you are? Do you want to be a speaker, a coach, a mentor, a therapist, a healer, a psychic? What do you want to do with your life? Do you want to open up a healing center? Do you want to open up a retreat? These are the kind of things that many spiritually led people are doing. Do you want to take your thinking and your methodology into a certain workspace, okay, and change the corporate world, the way people operate? This is now the time. We're going through a collective consciousness awakening. You need to decide what you want. Do you want to speak on stages? What is it that you want? And then you need to decide that you're never going to give up. This is like what you're going to work toward until you have it, because your goal is going to come to you faster than you could even imagine. So with quantum leaping, we destabilize everything. We dramatically shift our habits, okay? And we start to do things in a big and different way. All right? I'm going to read you a little bit from this book real quick. The quantum leap strategy can deliver those special dreams and ambitions that you instinctively feel should be yours. But the breakthrough demands a radical departure from some of your habits. And I'm going to tell you this, it's very hard to do alone. You can, but it's so much easier to do it with a group of people, with a group of friends, a mastermind group, get people together, read the books together, we're going to say join a program. I used to run Quantum Leap 8-week programs, and people would dramatically shapeshift their life. They would launch businesses and do all sorts of insane things that were amazing, because quantum leaping is about taking calculated risk. Now, I'm not saying jump off a cliff, but I'm saying jump off the cliff, right? Because you know that you're going to land in the water below. A calculated risk that scares you deeper than you could even imagine, because once you're on the other side, it's no big deal. Someone I know just spoke at their first TED Talk yesterday. And she's today like, did that really happen? Like, did I actually really make that happen? And the answer is yes. It's so scary to think about doing it. It's only an arm's length away once you decide. You want to make $1 million? It seems so big and so crazy until you decide to do it. And then you realize, like, actually, that's like right in front of my face. I just need to bring the power up inside me. Because once you start taking action and moving toward that goal in a quantum leap standpoint, from a quantum leap standpoint, all of your gifts start to open up. All of your power starts to come out. You'll start to find you have intuitive factors. You'll start to find that you can speak, you can move, you can do things you never did before. But the only way to learn is by doing them. So take action, calculated risks, and extreme action. Changing your habits on an extreme level. So right now, in this moment, anyone who's listening to this or on the replay, #replay if you are, I want you to know that you are capable of exponential growth, improvement in your performance, exponential improvement in your performance, and you can take steps way beyond the next logical step. I'm going to tell you a little story, how my husband and I ended up in London. All right. So I lived in London from 2007 until 2020. I woke up in the middle of the night at the beginning of 2020 in March or April, and I had a voice in my ear that said, move, give your notice for your flat, because it's standing in your way of success. And I was like, oh, damn it. I really love living in London. I love my flat. I love being here. And I woke up that morning, I messaged to my landlord, and I flew out of London with 8 suitcases after liquidating everything in my home, selling and giving away to charity. I flew out on the first flight to the US and I relocated my parents. None of it was planned. I had no idea what was going to happen. No one knew they were all moving. I had no idea we were all being reunited, and it happened, and it was wonderful. There are always challenges along the way, but you become sharper. You sharpen your knife when you have challenges. You can overcome any challenge that's thrown your way. So from there, I married my husband, moved to Norway. And this past January, my friend called me up and said, would you like to look after my cat? And I said, yeah, I would like to do that. I live in Norway. It's the middle of January. It's winter. It's cold here. I'll come to the UK for 5 weeks and look after your cat. And 2 weeks before I traveled, the cat passed away, which was very sad and very strange. So that was a very interesting turn of events. And I said, I'll keep my ticket and I will come with my 14-month-old baby. So we came to London, and within the first week, you wouldn't know it, our business boomed. It was like the stars were aligned, the business boomed. We were like, is this really happening? Everything started working out because we took action. It wasn't like we took action for business. We just took action to do something in our life that made us happy. By the time we left London, we had already made a decision to relocate to the UK. And then we traveled a bit because we work for ourselves, and we came back to Norway in March, and we moved on April 15th. And now we live in London. We didn't know that was going to happen in the beginning of 2024. We didn't know in January that we would be in London 3 months later, because we are trusting. We are focusing on our goal. We're not getting caught up in worry. We're doing everything we can to be happy, calm, and relaxed. And this brings me to the next point here. In order to quantum leap, you have to understand that this is not a logical strategy, right? Forget your logic, right? Spirituality isn't logical either. Our soul is not about logic. That's our brain. We need to follow our heart and explore the mind-heart connection. Let the brain support the heart, because the heart should be leading the way. Tapping into your deepest intuition, your deepest emotion, and taking action on that. Let your brain figure out the problems, but let your heart lead the way. This is not logical. And let me tell you, quantum leaping, it is not logical. And this is the key to extreme manifestation, is that you must follow your intuition and your heart. So getting relaxed and being relaxed is a key component to extreme manifestation. All right, staying in a state of relaxation, releasing worry, tapping into your intuition, your trust, embracing your fear and being one with it, letting go. And one of the terms I like to use is radical self-acceptance. Of course, I use radical self-love too. Radical self-love and radical self-acceptance, because we all have a light and a dark side, and we're all going to win and fail. We've just got to embrace it, accept it all, and power forward from a place of love and compassion and empathy. And for those of you who are aware, this is the balance between masculine and feminine energy, and that's why it works. Because we're soft, we're gentle, we're intuitive, and we're powerful. And we're taking action. That's the masculine energy, all right? So I like to call this the control paradox, and some other work that I do, which is letting go of everything, because you actually cannot control anything in your life except yourself and your own emotions, right? So controlling your life, your actions, and what you're working toward is key. Nothing else is in your control. You just have to trust, use your intuition, take action, and say yes, thank you to anything that's coming your way. When you know what you want, you will be able to make very fast, clear decisions that you don't turn back on. You will be able to say, yes, I want that. Because you know what you want, you know what you're looking for. You don't need to shop around. You don't need to like deliberate over different ideas and things. You'll just know this feels good. This is what I want. And this is what I've been asking for. All right. So the key here is to destabilize your environment, knowing, and get active in consciously creating your outcome. So here's what I'm going to recommend. All right. So guys, just so you know, with quantum leaping, we want to get into thinking beyond what common sense would allow. Remember that common sense is going to get you common results. We don't want common results. And I'm going to tell you, many of the world's richest individuals have said, take action now on the goal that you have 10 years from now. You probably will not hit that goal in a year, but it's not going to take you 10 years to hit it. It's going to happen a lot faster. So I like to think of quantum leaping as like going crazy. People say, are you going crazy? And I say, no. I think if I would sit there and take incremental steps one by one, that would be a bit crazy because it's going to take me the rest of my life. I want this change now. I want this to happen now. So here's a side note, and this is what I want to talk to you about tonight. Extreme change is still extreme change, all right? We are human beings. We are conditioned to be comfortable. We're conditioned in our paradigms. We're conditioned in our belief systems, and we are conditioned to be the person that we're used to being. So what happens when you shapeshift dramatically into a new life, a new reality, a new career, and a new self-image, a new self-identity? I want to talk about what a lot of people don't talk about, all right? And this is going to take me just 5 minutes, maybe less. Psychologically, there are a lot of things that can come up inside of you. And for those of us who are on a spiritual quest, it's called an ego death, all right? Where you rapidly depart from your past ego, AKA your identity and knowing who you are. And you will have moments where you literally don't know what's happening. You don't know who you are. You're not sure why. You know, it can be very frightening. And many people will call it the dark night of the soul, which is also very common for people on a spiritual journey to go through a period of basically living hell, where all of your fears have manifested. Everything that you never wanted to face about yourself starts coming up and starts hitting you right in the face. Even though everything is great, you're getting everything you want, you're doing it all. This is part of being human, all right? Your soul signed up for this human journey. So we need to embrace the humanness of it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you know what else? We embrace the joy, the happiness, the rewards, the success, because we live in a polarized universe. So we learn how to work with the laws, shape shift, and quantum shift our reality with the caveat that there aren't always great days, right? Like there will absolutely be down days. And I just want you to know that that's totally normal. And that happens. And it's really important for you to reach out to people who are on a similar quest and journey so that they understand, because what you're doing is noble. What you're doing is legacy material. Following your spiritual mission, changing your life, and living into your future in creating the life of your dreams is the most incredible thing any human being on this earth can do. All right, but you need to come first in your life, and you need to take care of yourself so that your plenitude overflows onto everyone around you and you're not giving from an empty cup, right? We've all heard that before. So now I want to start, that was just a caveat I want to add in, okay? So this is not like, what do we always say? Don't play with fire, right? This is not for kids. This is not for children. This is like, if you're ready and you want to make a big change and you want to expand your awareness and start to explore possibilities, what's there for you, this is the kind of technique you want to start employing and implementing into your life. It's not all the time. You can go through phases of quantum leaping, 30 days, and then you take 6 months off because you need to let that quantum leap settle. That's how I work. I like to quantum leap every 6 months if I'm even ready for it. Right now, I'm working on my next quantum leap, which is in my professional life, because I've been on a 2-year maternity, right? I've manifested freedom. I've manifested money. I've manifested living out in the middle of Norway in the mountains. I've manifested moving back to London into the house of my dreams. I've manifested my baby. I've manifested a house full of boys, kids, and my husband, everybody in the other room. Whew, you know, you need some time to catch up and grab your seat for a minute, take a deep breath. But the most important thing is to know what you want. And now I'm manifesting getting my business up and running again and reestablishing myself from a new place of power, which I could only have gained through the multiple quantum leaps I've taken over the past 4 years and beyond. Way before that, I was making quantum leaps. So what I'd like to do is invite anyone who's interested in talking about expanding their awareness. What are the next steps for you? I want to hear about what you've been through, because I love working with people. I'm a healer, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I work with spirituality, I'm a modern day shaman, and this is what I do. This is what I do for a living. So I'm offering everyone an expanded awareness call where we can simply jump on and have a chat. And I am more than happy to hear about what you're going through, what you want. If you need help gaining some clarity on that, we can talk about that. But I'm here to help you expand your awareness. All right, so go ahead, let me know. You can DM me on Facebook if you can't find a time that works for you. I am on British time. So what I want to do right now is I would like to take everyone through a quiet meditation, a grounding exercise, a quantum leap meditation. I am just looking for that. I'm going to see if I use the one from the book or if I just take you through a meditation on my own. I'll just take you through my own. All right. So guys, we have a couple minutes left here. I want you to just go ahead and sit back in your seats. All right. If you are seated, you could try to put your feet down on the floor. But honestly, if you're sitting cross-legged on your sofa, don't put your feet on the floor. Get comfortable. Just feel your energy connecting through the bottom of your spine or the bottom of your feet. All right. If you're lying down, that's even better. Go ahead. Put your hands on your heart, your stomach. Start to get those energy centers massaged. Start to tap. If you practice tapping, you might want to just take a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. And just breathe in, breathe out. And breathe in, filling up your lungs and holding, and breathe in and hold it and roll your shoulders back. Just settle into your position, your posture, your seat. And just gently bring your awareness to the middle, the center of your forehead, in between your eyebrows, your mind's eye. Just start to imagine a golden bowl of light just gently shining there. It may appear as violet or purple or blue for you. Just observe the color. And I want you to bring yourself into the image of, onto the screen of your mind's eye. Right? I want you to just imagine your future self, living your dream life, your dream lifestyle. And look, I want you to just imagine that you don't want or need anything. Anyone who's listening today who has trouble with accepting financial return or financial reward into their life, we're going to clear that from all time, space, and reality right now. And I want you to just embrace yourself at your fullest, most glorious. Breathe in. Look at your face, your mouth. Are you smiling, laughing? Your teeth? Have you had your teeth fixed? Your hair, your skin, your clothing. Oh, breathe in. And I want you to just send love and gratitude to your future self. And start to see who is around you, what environment is around you. I'm getting a very extreme white terrace and beach image. I don't know who that's for. I see blonde hair, white shirt, white teeth, tan face, all right? Smiling, happy, hair blowing in the wind. I don't know if anyone here matches that description, but that is the image I'm getting for someone. Hold that image and feel the emotion. Feel into everything you've been through to achieve where you are today in your image. Breathe in. Start to just imagine the home you live in, the car you drive. We all know the power of our visual mind, creating your memory of the future, creating your memory of all the success you've achieved in your life, creating the memory of the power you've brought up from within, all the people in the world whose lives you've touched and changed, of all the people your soul has helped to heal and find their truth. What does it look like to be on a mission and to be succeeding within yourself and impacting millions of people around you? Creating a positive ripple effect of positivity in the world. Now we're going to sit with this image and breathe and deepen your emotional awareness of who you truly are in an alternate universe, quantum reality. Get into the details of your vision. And when we come out of this visualization, meditation, relaxation, I just want you to write down any ideas that you have. So take a breath in. Breathe in. Oh, breathe out. If you can exhale, just enjoy letting go. We literally let go of everything we don't need, everything that no longer serves us. All right. Only because we have limited time today, we're just going to start to wiggle our fingers and toes and pull our energy back up from our feet, from our hands, back right into our center and our core, right into our heart, and right back up to our mind's eye where we say thank you. Tapping into the divinity, tapping into our higher power, our higher self, tapping into the truth about who we are and who we are becoming, because you're already that person. Now, if you can, take a pen and paper and write down any ideas that you had, any details from your image. Just write it all down. If you have any inspired ideas, write them down. right? I have like an intense ringing in my ears all of a sudden, right? You may hear some messages or intuitively know certain things. Oh, yeah, then I start to get a wave. Woof. All right, guys. Okay, I just give you a moment to write. So, how to quantum leap? Here's what you want to do. I want you to come up with a goal. And you don't even need to have a goal like we do in all these coaching programs. I just want you to know that you want to change and have an idea of what areas in your life you want to change in. All right. I want you to decide that if there are any areas in your life that are no longer working, you're going to put the paddle down and stop playing that game. All right. Give yourself 30 days. Paddle down. No more. Take calculated risks. You're going to destabilize your reality. You're going to freak out a bit. You're going to freak out a bit, okay? But I promise you, you will break through to the other side. If you want to do this on your own, I suggest you get this book, U Squared. Go ahead and get this second book, Quantum Leap Strategy, but one book is enough, in my opinion. You don't need two. I would say this one is my top. As you can see, I've read it. We have like 10 of these, and we've read all of them, my husband and I, so many times. And go for it. I want you to take extreme action every single day. Extreme action. All right? If you want to talk about this a bit more, go ahead and book a call with me. It's calendly.com/Lyndsay King, LYNDSAYKING. And I hope that you enjoyed this session tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed speaking with you, seeing you. If you want to follow me, go ahead and become my friend on Facebook. Okay. I'm mostly on Facebook these days, and watch this space. We have loads of events coming up, and I hope to be doing much more work in the future with the Spiritual Growth Forum, because I'm a huge fan of what everyone here on the team is doing. All right. Thank you. So Bjorn has dropped my link. Thank you so much. But the Calendly link is good enough. Go ahead and use that. And yeah, so I am going to wrap it up here and say thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope you enjoyed my talk about quantum leaping. Got to have a bit of insight into me as a person. I hope you learned a bit about any kind of awakening or growth or mission in your spiritual life that you're going through. And I send you lots of love and light. Thank you. Have a great evening.